What's good, y'all? It's Gordo again. Before I get into reviewing episode 2, I want to go back to episode 1 of A Vox in Space and comment on something that made me appreciate it a bit more. So, yeah, I started playing the Star Fox games, the first one at least, on the Switch SNES Virtual Console. I'll give a review on that game sometime later, but I want to say this: I ain't beat the game yet. But I just want to say that Matthew Gafford did a great job replicating the vocal pitch of both Fox and Falco from the games to his series. When I first started watching, I wasn't really feeling their voices like that until they eventually grew on me, right? So when I started playing the game, I noticed how similar Fox and Falco sounded when compared to his versions of the characters. So now I understand why Falco sounded the way he did. That kind of stuff was pretty dope when I made the comparison, so that's pretty cool to see. It just shows that Dog cares about the series, I feel. Yeah, so now on to episode 2. To be honest, I don't want to sum much up because it feels like y'all know when you were writing essays for school or whatever and you gotta meet that word count. So you just write down whatever to meet that and the quality of your writing sounds like not basic but shows a lack of interest, so you just sum things up in order to get to that word count. I don't really want to do that. Instead, I'm gonna just go over the things I like and didn't like, straight to the point like that. With that being said, I feel like I ought to tell y'all that this episode, like it says in the beginning title card, takes place 10 years before the events of episode 1. There's this scene of a young Fox, maybe 12 years, maybe younger, sitting next to Wolf's dad while Fox plays some game. I actually really like the faces he makes as he's playing the game. Nothing deep about that. I just think it was something nice to see. But dog, not only that, you got a younger Wolf hanging out with his girlfriend, Farah, voiced by Kim Miley, listening in on Fox playing the game. Wolf's annoyed with Fox being there, but dude was impressed with how far Fox got into the game. But yeah, they try to sneak it out only to have Wolf's dad question where they were going. And to be honest, I like Wolf's dad. At first glance, he looks like a father that doesn't care about his son, but that really ain't the case. I mean, yeah, dude's drinking out of 40, but he was making sure his son had money on him, and not to ask from him, but to make sure that he had some in case he needed it. Yeah, he cracks jokes on his son, which, depending on the relationship, can be either good or bad, but he seems like a caring father. Wolf didn't look like he liked the jokes, though. Next, I want to touch on James and Peppy for a second. Both of their voices are really good. Hard to say which of the two I like the most, but I think I'm going to give it to Peppy. There's like a sense of calm, cool cat type feeling to it. Something you'd hear in like a 70s cop movie. Both him and James go way back and is willing to follow his boy wherever he goes. Truly a homie for real. He has some good lines throughout the show too, but that's not to sleep on James McLeod, but more on him later. So remember last episode when I was talking about Andros and how I wasn't very impressed with what I got? Here, dude's character is fleshed out a bit more, and I gotta say, I like it. This one scene was really dope to me. He's the villain of the series, but the way he treats his people on Planet Venom, even though he gave them robotic enhancements, shows he's got a caring side to him. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but here he doesn't come across as manipulative, but as an authority that is deserving of respect. His voice, played by Matthew Gafford, also helps reinforce that. Dude really got range, I guess. I ain't complaining though. Andros' voice is really good in this episode, and the way he was here made me like him more than what I saw in episode 1. But while I do like how the colors pop, especially when some of the scenes is darkened a bit, it can be hard to see when things are dark some of the time. I can let it slide though, because it does add to the atmosphere of what we're watching, but even though I like that, maybe turning up the brightness would be better in some scenes, like when Wolf's dad handed something to him. I wasn't sure if it was a wad of cash or car keys, so it was hard to tell. Still, the colors do pop pretty nicely though. I want to get into Wolf a little bit here. He's a real charismatic dude, even pretty charming. With that being said, the way he did everybody here was mean. Like, I can't find a better word to describe it. And I don't want to give away too many details, but the implications of his actions that could possibly affect those closest to him was hard to watch, especially on my second viewing. It sucks to see everyone else's reactions. Alright, now we're getting back into James McCloud. The rest of the show is centered around him and Peppy showing up on Planet Venom after General Pepper had the both of them, mainly James, but Peppy came through anyways because that's his boy, shows up to see what's going on with Andros. I gotta say, when they first got to Venom, the choice of music was pretty good. It's called Welcome to Venom by Matthew Gafford, and it sets a nice tone to their arrival. It's like you hear it and can feel that there's a bit of tension in the air, while the little chime sound that plays gives the listener a sense of alertness, like being on your guard at all times type of deal. With that being said, at first I thought the scene that follows right after docking was kind of funny, but on my second viewing I feel it's a bit out of place. Well, it kind of takes away from the tone they already set when James and Pepe walked in. So it did kind of take me out of the seriousness of the beginning on the being of enemy territory. But that feeling came right back after it ended. I really appreciate the lighting in the train. It gives off a feeling of anxiety, especially the little speech Andros gave when the boys were sitting at the bar. It's at this point where things pick up much more seriously. The sense of danger is all there. The anxiety one gets when one walking around by themselves in an unknown area, unfamiliar to them, is captured really well when James goes looking for who they were supposed to meet when they got there. So now, James runs into someone he knows, asking for the dude he was looking for, but was interrupted by two other dudes sent by Andros. The music builds up. Conversation is set, and the bass line that plays as James is being questioned by these men had caused my anxiety to rise along with the beat and the situation at hand. James stands his ground as the two men discuss what they should do, and freaking James, he's calm but was willing to do whatever was coming to his mind when dudes were on his case. And with all this being said, I can say that Andros is a no-nonsense dude. But yeah, that's all I got from watching the Fox in Space episode 2. I recommend y'all give it a shot. I did my best not to spoil anything for y'all here, just wanted to get y'all interested in checking out this dope series. Tell me how you feel about it, and also what your thoughts are on my review. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one.